Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about reading Henry James. When I started reading books about Henry James, I wanted to know where to start from. There are very few people on BookTube who have talked about Henry James. So I thought I will make a video so that it would help you guys if you are interested in reading Henry James anytime soon. Henry James was an American author and he wrote almost 100 books in 40 years. He is best known for a number of novels which deal with social and marital interplay between Americans and the Europeans. Now, Henry James was born in New York in a very socially prominent family. At the age of 33, he moved to Europe and he lived in Paris for 1 year before he settled down in England. He never married and he became a British citizen. Since he lived both in America and in Europe, so you can see the influence of this idea in all his books. Now, James' books or his literary work can be divided into three eras: early period, the middle years, and the later years. Now, the three books which I have read by Henry James are from his early period of writing, and he was trying to discover the similarities and differences between the Europeans and Americans in his literature. Works from this period include The American, which was written in 1877, and Daisy Miller, Europeans, which was written in 1878, and the book which marks the end of his first period of writing was The Portrait of a Lady by Henry James, which was written in 1881. Now, I have read three books and all three of them are from his early period of writing. The Portrait of the Lady is at the end of this period, and to be honest, I do not like this one very much. I gave 4 stars to The Europeans by Henry James. This is a story about two European siblings who go to America and there they meet their cousins who are rich, but they are not as refined as the Europeans. I gave this book 4 stars on Goodreads and I really enjoyed it. It was a short book, but it had sort of a happy ending, and I'm a person who likes to read happy endings. I read this book in October 2017 and I really enjoyed it. Now, the next book which I've read from this era is The American by Henry James, and I finished this book early this morning and I have given this book 4 stars as well. This was a longer book, but it was such a page turner. Now, this story is about an American called Christopher Newman, because he was from the New World and he comes to Europe and he has just earned a lot of money in America and now he wants to settle down and get married. And the person he starts to like and falls in love with is an European heiress. She was married once, but she's now a widow. Now, Claire de Bellegarde is an aristocrat and her family is not willing to accept an American. He is a nice person, he has a lot of money, but still the aristocratic family of Claire de Bellegarde is unwilling to accept him as their son-in-law. There were so many plots and twists and turns in the story that I really enjoyed this book. And third book which I have read by Henry James is The Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. As I already told you, this is the book which marked the end of his first period of writing. It is also a story about an American girl who comes to Europe and here she has 3 suitors, but you can almost feel the difference in his writing as time goes on, because his first novels were very simple, they had simple writing, and in The Portrait of a Lady the writing and the sentences get complicated. Maybe that is the reason why I did not like this book a lot. I have given The Portrait of a Lady 2 stars, and I know this is the most popular book, everybody knows about The Portrait of a Lady, but unfortunately I did not like it a lot. Now, James' second period, which was in the middle of his literary career, had novels like The Bostonians, The Turn of the Screw, What Maisie Knew, and The Awkward Age. This period ended at 1899 and I have not read any of these books, but I am interested in reading The Bostonians because it sounds like the kind of book I will like. I think there is a BBC series for The Bostonians and I want to see that. Now, the final period of James' career was the major phase and it was the peak of his achievement, and this period had books like The Wings of the Dove, which was written in 1902, The Ambassadors, which I have a copy of. This was written in 1903. I have not read this book yet, but I am going to. And The Golden Bowl, which was written in 1904. In these three novels, James wrote about the international theme regarding the Americans and the Europeans, but he had a very different writing style in these books. They say that Henry James in his later novels had a lot of long, complex sentences, so I'm not sure if I'm going to love reading those books, but I want to give The Ambassadors a try and one book from his second period, The Bostonians, to see if I will enjoy his writing from those two periods of time as well, because I did enjoy his writing from his first period of writing. It is interesting to see that some of the authors like E.M. Foster complained about what they saw in James' works. Similarly, Oscar Wilde was also not a huge fan of Henry James and he criticized his writing for being painful. And it is said that Virginia Woolf wrote once a letter to someone and she asked him, please tell me what you find in Henry James. We have his works here and I read and I cannot find anything but faintly tinged rosewater, urbane and sleek, but vulgar and pale. Despite these criticisms, James is now valued for his psychological realism and his character development. Henry James was also nominated 3 times for Nobel Prize for Literature. I hope this video has given you a little idea about where to start with Henry James, and I hope you read his books and you enjoy them, and I would love to know down in the comments if you have read any of his books and if you would like to suggest some of his books to me. And I'm going to see you all in my next video very soon. Bye!